Yeah.
Good evening, and welcome to episode number 44 of the Soup Shoes podcast.
The Jerry West number.
Yes. You got myself, Eric, here in the building, aka Nick's offseason, Dante DiVincenzo, and they came together.
The Philly
We,
Knicks.
Villanova Knicks. Also, we got Josh, aka Ben Simmons trainer. We got Ernest, aka Lake Show. And we got Armani, aka Laker Nation to Infinity. So today's episode, we're going to discuss the Jaylen Brown extension he got from the Celtics, for a new 5-year, $305 million extension. We're going to talk about the never-ending saga of the Damian Lillard saga, trade rumors. Don't know when the trade's going to happen. There's some rumblings about the Miami Heat maybe giving up 3 to 4 picks and Tyler Hero. And then Adam Silver decides to come in and just say, hey, enough is enough, blah, blah, blah. And you better go play where you get traded, basically. Also, we're going to talk about Dr. J's top 10 list. There's been some controversy about his list. And some names that he left out for some reason. There was a reason why he left some names out list. So we'll definitely tune into that. Also, talk about the little debate on Twitter between James Harden and Dwayne Wade, who was a better player, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Who knows? It's anyone's opinion. Like I really care. Like we all really care. And also we're gonna talk some WNBA. See what's going on as of right now. The All-Star break just passed, and they're getting into the second half of the season. And the Vegas Aces at 23-2, just running away with the entire league. Even though Candace Parker is out, they got the best record. They've been blowing teams out by a plus margin of 20, and they're the odds-on favorite to repeat as champs. So we'll talk about them a little bit. In the meantime, between time. The first item up, we're gonna talk about Jaylen Brown. So he just got an extension, 5 years, $305 million. The first NBA player to receive a new contract over $300 million. This
It is the richest league in NBA history, by the way.
Richest contract.
I mean, the richest contract. Pardon.
Yeah, richest contract in NBA history. Yes. This is gonna set a precedence on the next set of contracts. Plus, you got the new CBA, which is in effect now, and the new NBA TV contract is coming up in the next couple of years. So this contract would be a bargain in the next couple of years, if you really think about it, because on the same team you got Jason Tatum, who also had a contract extension a couple of years ago, but now you're probably looking at him at over 315 to close to 320 if he keeps playing the way he is. So, and also, how does this contract affect the future contracts down the line and with the Celtics? So the floor is yours, y'all. Whoever goes first goes. Take it away.
I just wanted to add on to his contract is fully guaranteed. There's no opt out, and there's a trade kicker on top of that. So, listen, the guy gets his money, well deserved. I think the Celtics had no choice but to give him that contract. He hit all of his incentives in his prior contract that'll give him this opportunity to get this deal now. And hey, man, kudos to him, and it just opens up the floodgates now because obviously he will be the highest paid player in the league, and on his team for sure, but he's not the best player on his team. So that opens the floodgates. And, I think we're also going to see excess of $400 million contracts
Crazy.
start to rise with guys like Jokic, maybe Shake SGA. These young guys, maybe Ant-Man down the line. I think they're going to start seeing. Yeah. I think we're going to start seeing these contracts fluctuate this way. But listen, you got the new TV deal coming out very soon. The new CBA is now it incentivizes teams and star players to get their money. Like I don't know if you notice now, like guys the free agency is not what it used to be. You don't have these marquee guys going into free agency anymore. What they're doing is they're ringing up with these teams and then asking out, asking for a trade, right? So
NFL,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the NFL, like the NBA, with the new CBA that's intact now, it acts as if there's a hard cap, as like the NFL has in their salary cap, mechanism. So the NBA is kind of moving towards that way a little bit, but hey, kudos to Jaylen Brown, well deserved. But yeah, this opens up the floodgates for these up and coming stars and these teams to keep pay their stars, but also I think owners you're gonna have a lot more parity in the league because unless you got a owner like Matt Ishbia who doesn't care about the CBA, you're gonna have more parity in the league because now stars are more inclined to get their money and probably stay with their teams if they don't ask out. And you got teams who don't want to hit the second apron. If you hit that second apron, there is a heavy, heavy penalty you must pay. So more parity in the league. More stars are getting their money. Rosters will seem to be more balanced out a little bit. So we'll see. But kudos to Jaylen Brown. He's well deserved.
I just hope that they put in his contract. You got to go left about like 60% of the time.
Oh, come on, bro.
I just hope they put that in his contract. But the Celtics, I think they shot themselves in the foot with this one. I mean, they had no choice but to give him the money. But the way I see it though is that with these contracts,
Celtics slander on the Lake Show side.
With these contracts that are Jaylen Brown is now the richest contract in the league right now, right? So remember Mike Conley a couple years ago?
It was one. Yeah, he signed a $150 million deal, around like 159.
So
I think
at that time, remember everybody was losing their mind. They was broadcasting that everywhere and stuff like that. But then you're looking at guys around it. You're like Mike Conley, like no disrespect to Mike Conley at all, but like he's not the top tier player in the league. Even at that time, he wasn't. So you're just looking like, okay, if Mike Conley's getting this much, what is the market for those tier A players? So and then with that, it makes those contracts really hard to trade. So like with the Russell Westbrook situation, right? Man's is making $40 million. Like Russell Westbrook gave the Clippers good quality during the playoffs. When the Lakers, not so much. Fit, Ross construction, behind the scenes stuff, whatever you want to say, whatever, right? But $40 million rush, it was just not attractive to a lot of teams. And even Chris Paul, this past situation, when the Suns was thinking about trading they eventually did, but Chris Paul making $40 million a year, like at this age, that's not an attractive contract. So what I'm saying is, Jaylen Brown hasn't hit his prime yet, in my opinion, hasn't hit his prime. But what I'm thinking is that, like, let's say if the decline, like for whatever reason, let's say there's a decline that happens, that contract now becomes really hard to trade. And then now teams has to scramble together and try to stretch contracts. Now you're giving up a bunch of picks and stuff just to get this one player off. So that's where I come from when I say that the Celtics have shot themselves in the foot when it comes to this, but they also have no choice. But that's just something to monitor, especially down the line where, like, to your point, he's not even the best player on his team. right? So if Tatum is like, yo, Jalen is getting 304 mil, what the hell am I getting? What I'm getting 310, 320, and then other players are down the line in the league is like, yo, Tatum is getting this and this and this. Well, shit, I should be getting what 340, 350. Like, look at Yoke. I'm not saying Yoke is going to decline. He's great. Not saying the Nuggets will ever trade him or anything, but like when these situations happen, like the Celtics have been having some bad runs past couple of years. They made finals back in 2022. They lost. This year, they got beat by an AC team. Even though they came back and won and forced it to a game 7, they still lost, right? So what happens when those teams is like, all right, we're about to hit the reset button. We're going to hit the reset button, and now you got to trade these guys. And Jaylen Brown, that contract is going to be hard to trade. Let's say if you give Tatum that extension as well, too, that contract is going to be hard to trade. What happens when these players say, yo, like to your point, these marquee guys are not testing free agency anymore. They are sticking with their team, and then when shit hits the fan, they're just like, "Yo, I want to be out. I'm out." So it makes it very difficult to trade these contracts. So that's my spiel.
Not gonna lie. At first, when I saw 300, I was like, "Damn!" But
because you was the main one that every single show, every single time we in the group chat, Josh is like, Jaylen Brown hasn't signed yet.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, what's happening? What's the holdup?
Right.
But I guess he was on vacation, with Bernice, but that's another.
I hope he was going. I hope he was going left in the
gym. But
leave Miss Burgos out of this.
I'm not gonna lie. I get the outrage, but when you really look at it, he's a top 25 player who's probably he's still ascending. So I don't got a problem with that contract. Because his contract is more of a bargain than Desmond Bane, who's never seen an All-Star making 200 M's.
Okay, wait. I get it. I get the Desmond Bane stuff, but like, what were the Grizzlies supposed to do?
Like, shooter.
What were they supposed to do? What were the Grizzlies supposed to do? Let him walk?
You don't have to let him walk. You don't have to have him back you in the corner and be like, give me 200 M's. Who are you? Excuse me? You getting 150.
All right, okay.
M's?
I get it.
What they gonna give Jaren Jackson? I mean, they already gave him. They gonna have to give Jaren Jackson even more.
Mm-hmm. Wait till John. Yeah, John, right?
So that's what I'm just like. I'm fine on it because, like Eric said earlier, with the CBA, they predicting that the CBA, the cap space is gonna be at 175. It's at 30 now. So that's going up.
Yeah, it's million. like each year is gonna go up by 10%.
Yeah. So that should be fine for him, and then him and Tatum contract making 60 million each. That should fit perfectly fine. They would teams will probably have 50 million with 2 supermax guys on their roster. So I feel like it's fine. At first, I was paying. I was like, yo, 300 M's. But then I was like, you know what? Makes sense. CBA come in. It's CBA.
It's like the TV deal. But it's like when Conley got his contract, everyone was like, oh my God. Now $150 million contract is nothing now.
That's chump change.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing.
So, and like Omani said, they had to do it. So I'm happy for Jaylen Brown. I hope you really pull through with that Black Wall Street.
To the left,
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
But what?
Shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. He is well deserved. Even though people saying you have no left, bro. I saw what you did in the finals against the Warriors. Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
Oh my God.
Black Wall Street.
But as we talk about players not testing free agency and opting in and getting extensions, well, not necessarily opting in, but getting extensions off of their current max deals. We have another player who supposedly has a difficult contract to trade and has been in trade talks for the last couple of years, I would say, and it was constantly refuted by a loyalty until that loyalty ran dry because winning means everything. And Damian Lillard He has not been traded yet, ladies and gentlemen, and he's still with the Portland Trail Blazers as we speak today.
We still here, man.
It could happen. He could get traded during the show, right? We never know.
Hoping that too.
But needless to say, he's still with the he's still with the Portland Trail Blazers.
Whoa! That's a Raven over there.
Chill. He wants to be with the Miami Heat. And he is supposedly his agent Aaron Goodman and his representatives have let other NBA front offices know that he is willing to only play for one team. And the perception, because we don't know if this is true or not, but the perception, because I have a theory as to who's leaking some of this stuff, whether it's true or not. The perception is that his representatives are telling teams he is not going to fulfill his contractual duties, with any other team that trades for him except for the Miami Heat. So the NBA stepped in, Adam Silver and the league stepped in and said, "Hey, basically, yeah, but that's not gonna happen. There'll be ramifications and penalties if Damian Lillard is telling teams that, and they have power to veto trades if that's the case, basically. So it's like a slap on the wrist, a slap on the hand, whatever. Don't do that again. But this is not going to stop players from requesting trades and wanting a certain destination.
Yep.
So I don't know what the point was. I don't know what the point of that was. My personal theory is that it is the Portland Trailblazers side that is quote unquote leaking out that they're telling teams they don't want to play for these teams and only Miami, and that's because the only deal that is on the table is Miami's
That's
deal.
it.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is, and the Blazers are not happy with that, and Miami is calling them bluff, and Miami's basically saying, "We know you ain't got no other offers, so we're gonna try our best to get a third team to take Tyler Hero because you don't want Tyler Hero. We get that. We're gonna try our best to get a third team. There's supposedly suitors for Tyler Hero, but the Portland Trailblazers want more because they feel like they can get, if not a star level, but someone on the up and coming of Dame's caliber, and they think they can get a better deal elsewhere." What do you guys think on this take? And also the theory that I have, because I do personally think the Blazers side, it's becoming a toxic situation, unfortunately. So
I think also Joe Cronin, he's like, okay, I gotta also look out for my best interest on my team. So it's like it's either
that was the best interest. The NBA already set it up for you. Here, you're gonna get a scoop. You know what I'm saying?
But I think with Dame's contract and the vibe that it provides the Miami Heat, Joe Cronin's like, yo, I want more. Like, come on, pay up. So there's I think there's that bluff right there of
they want that KD deal.
Yeah. KD got the Nets got a haul for KD, and they waited until trade deadline during the season to get it. Because remember, KD asked last summer to get out. So and he basically played out the season.
Where were you, Adam Silver?
Sure, wait. We're gonna get to this. Josh, you're gonna get the floor. But here's the issue I have with the comparison between the Dame and KD's thing. KD still has 4 years with no opt-out on his contract, right? So the Nets had exactly. The Nets had all right because KD asked for the trade before the contract extension even kicked in. So like, I get why the Nets should have they got that haul. Damian Lillard going into next season, he'll be 33 years old, making $45.5 million, and then the 2024-2025 season, that is his last year on his deal.
Yep.
So any team he can go to, he can say, "Hey, listen, I will play for you this year, but I'm not extending, and next season could be my last year. So it's in your best interest to trade me,
Mm-hmm.
or you lose me for nothing. I'm just gonna walk to Miami. So like, it's a difference. KD had 4 years with like that didn't even start yet with no opt out. Dame has 2 years with an opt out, so like he can just leave. So Portland's doing all this like double dutch for no reason, dude. No team is going to give up compensation for a guy that is a 1.5 year rental. Like, let's be real. Let's just be real.
Especially when he said his desired place to go, like to go.
Exactly.
Like,
It's the same. So it's almost like the same situation with Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, yep.
AD requested out.
His pops was like, "You're not going to Boston," like because he's not.
Boston, when AD requested a trade, he told the Pelicans, "The only place I want to play for, and the only team I want to go to is the Lakers."
Mm-hmm.
Right? AD had 1 more year left on his deal, and he was able to be an unrestricted free agent. The Lakers already had the cap space set up to have AD just walk right to the Lakers and fill in the cap space for it. So he told the Pelicans, "You should trade me because I'm not re-signing here before I walk for nothing." Boston wanted to trade for Anthony Davis. AD's representatives told Boston, Clutch, Rich Paul, told Boston, "You can trade for AD and he'll play out the year for you guys, but he's not re-signing because guess what? He's going to be an unrestricted free agent and he's going to LA." It's the same scenario. Everyone's acting like this is like this whole Portland is trying to acquiesce more pieces, more assets from other teams. Other teams are saying, "Wait a minute, we already know he wants to go to Miami. We're not going to give you top-notch compensation for a player that does not want to be here and is going to walk."
Mm-hmm.
And then the offers lessen further along the season will go because there's less and less time you'll have Damian Lillard on your roster. That's all what it is right now. And that's the back and forth that's happening.
I just honestly feel like this is taking too long. Like, I think this is kind of like the final nail that we need for this offseason. Like, we just been waiting on this, like even towards after the NBA Finals. Like, we all suspected that when he requested the trade, that remember we needed his contract situation to kick in. We felt like when that happened, maybe like a week or two after he requested the trade, that's when the trade was going to go down. Now we're here. It's the 1st of August. Training camp is coming up.
Next month, right?
Next month.
Yeah.
And we're still here. Man, it's still in a Portland Trailblazer jersey.
Come on.
And the thing is, like, y'all gonna really act like, "Oh well, if we don't get a deal, then this game's gonna stay." Stop. You're gonna
That's not good for a young team to have.
I was just about to say
exactly.
that. Like,
especially when you're trying to invest in your future.
So you mean to tell me Scoot Henderson's gonna have to answer every question from reporters? How you feel about Dame? I want to play with you. And how you feel about Dame? In the locker room, don't want to be around you guys, and he doesn't feel like he can win with you guys. They gotta answer those questions every single day. Y'all cool with that? Come on. Like, let's stop. Let's just stop. Like, I get it. I understand player empowerment. A lot of people have frowned upon it, but at the end of the day, man, listen. Yes, Dame signed the contract. Yes, Dame should fulfill his contractual duties, to play with the Portland Trailblazers. But he also has a right to act out. If said player feels like the organization is not building a team around him or adding assets that'll help him win, at some point the player has to take control of his own destiny.
I honestly think that low-key, like, this is not fair at all. This is not fair at all. And the reason why I say that is because Dame has been loyal to this franchise through thick and thin. Right? The win.
A lot of thin.
A lot of thin. Through thick and thin. Right? Dame has been extremely loyal to this franchise. Right?
Blame Neil O'Shea for that.
Yeah, many times, man. Many times.
Blame Neil O'Shea for that.
Many times.
If Neil O'Shea was still there, they would have been traded by now.
Bro.
Just put it that way.
You don't know how many, so many times, right? We all, and when I say we all, I mean like us as just basketball fans, the media, Twitter and stuff like that. We all express for Dame to just move on, but Dame was like, "Nah, I'm not running from the grind." Right?
You know what's crazy, Armani? Portland, y'all could have had Kyle Kuzma.
Come on now.
Y'all could have had KCP.
Come on, son.
Y'all could have had, Montrezl Harrell. Y'all could have had all that plus some picks.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
And that year we had a great talented team. Like from everybody fit the bill.
Look at this shift y'all doing right now. This
no. What are you talking about this shift?
This is nasty.
Either way, it work. Josh, what's the shift? What's the shift?
This is nasty.
What's the shift? I want to know what's the shift. What's the shift?
I don't like this agenda that's going on.
What's the agenda? You ain't saying nothing. What's the agenda, bro?
You know what?
We know what the agenda is. We know what the agenda is. There was a off-summer conversation, and Dave, you know what I mean? But
did you see the Wizards?
Listen, listen. They got Jordan Poole now, but listen, you know what I'm saying? They got the modern day Anton Jameson and Gilbert Arenas. So chill.
No, that comparison is crazy, bro.
But no, man. Listen. At the end of the day, this thing is gonna go on. I do think, personally, I believe that Dame will be traded before training camp, or at least the middle of training camp, when he doesn't report. I think they'll get through USA basketball and all sorts that's coming up. So like once all that is done and like it's really on the horizon, I think we'll get more concrete as to that trade going down. And speaking of trades, you got something else?
Yeah, all I'm saying is you got to do right by your people, man. You got to do right by your people, and then I think this situation is just like another situation that makes us understand that this is just a game of basketball. It's a business as well, too. I've been loyal to your team. I've been an employee for your business for the past, Dame's been in the league for going on 10 years, right? 10 years? He got drafted in 2012, right?
Yeah, with AD, yeah.
Yes.
2012.
Right.
No. Sorry, he's going into 11 years. 11 years.
So a decade.
He was drafted in 2012.
2012, yes. 2012. So a decade. I've been loyal. The best thing you can do is do right by me and just accept my requests. That's it, man.
I'll just say this. Adam Silver, you got some explaining to do. Because when KD had the franchise hostage, he ain't saying nothing.
Bro, that trade happened in the middle of the night, bro. We all woke up to
I was going to sleep when that trade happened.
But you know what was crazy? Because that was on the back end of the Lakers trading Russ. So like it was just like, oh, like okay, and then this drops.
And then that was a week. That was a week after they traded Kyrie Irving to Dallas.
Yes, right. In the same week.
In
the same week.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Adam Silver. Like KD did the same thing. He was threatening. He said, "Yo, fire everybody in the summer." You didn't say nothing. I didn't hear you say a peep. But just because it's Portland, they like a little city. I notice your agenda is to take care of little cities and all that. Wow, the big city just gotta whatever, bro. I'm gonna keep that noted because whenever the Nets are in trouble, you just let shit rock. The vaccine with Kyrie, you let that shit rock. Whatever. If it was a small city, if LeBron was playing in Indiana and he didn't want the vaccine, guess what would have happened? But it's fine, whatever. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it noted that you put out this bullshit memo about, like, bro, nobody. What you want the Nets to overpay for Dame? What other team Dame going to?
Oh,
let's be real. So I got my eye on you, Adam Silver. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, listen,
family show, y'all. Family show.
Yeah, but, hey, listen, this deep rooted, this deep rooted trauma during that whole time. Because I'm not gonna lie, all the Nets fans I was talking to during that time were stressed,
bullying us.
They was over everything. Over it. They was
Kyrie talking about I'm gonna opt out and take a minimum. What? Where was you? How did you do that? Where were
Yeah.
you?
He literally said, "I'm not," like people were like, "Yeah, he gonna opt out and play with the Lakers." So you're gonna opt out and be a minimum player with the Lakers? Then they got AD and LeBron? Nah, nah, that is crazy.
Come on, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I've seen worse than what Dame and his agent, whatever they saying they're doing over there. I've seen worse.
Yeah,
and I didn't get no memo from the NBA protecting the Nets.
But listen, y'all got Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, so great.
Yeah, but speaking of trades, there's another point guard that is out there. Yes.
Yo, you didn't see the reports? You didn't see the reports? He's still better than ever.
King of
My
Brooklyn, that's
my training is helping. He's better than ever now.
Oh man.
Josh Scoop B has reported that Ben Simmons is better than ever now. So
trust me, bro.
We got another point guard. That's also he has requested a trade for the fourth time, right?
Yeah.
No. By the way of Philadelphia, the Sixers, God. James Harden.
Don't remind me. Another one that Adam Silver did not step up about. Another one. Yo,
he out here not protecting his players, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
He just letting her.
Man. He also requested a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers because he felt as if the contracts that were offered to him weren't enough compensation because he did take a pay cut to let Daniel House and PJ Tucker join the team, which is hey, listen, you gotta look out for your boys, right?
Pay cut for Daniel House in 2022 is ridiculous, bro.
And now he is axed out of Philly, and he wants to be a Los Angeles Clipper. What is your take on James Harden? Wanting to leave Philly. I personally don't think because we've seen it. Daryl Morey will get uncomfortable. He will drag us into the season. He did that in Houston. But I think the bigger issue that's looming that Daryl Morey didn't have in Houston is you have a MVP caliber star that's a bigger star than James Harden on your team, and he wants to win. And yes, Joel Embiid has some shortcomings. He has some flaws in the playoffs. We've seen it.
The second round.
Yeah. But what you can't deny is that he is literally one of the best players in the league. And if you trade James Harden, let's just say you trade him to the Clippers, is Terrence Mann, Marcus Morris, a few picks, who else you could throw in there? Is Mason Plumlee? Is that good enough for Joel Embiid to say, "Oh, I could win with this"? I don't think so. So I think this is why I think Daryl Morey will drag this into the season and try to do his damnedest to convince James Harden to at least play out this year to build up his value a little bit more, and maybe by the deadline see what they can get for James Harden. Maybe there's a better package by then. But what do you guys take on James Harden asking out and wanting to be a Clipper and he doesn't want to go nowhere else but there?
I'm gonna just say this because I dealt with this situation. James Harden, he's a liar. Before he said he wanted to come to Brooklyn, he got to Brooklyn. Then he said, "No, my real destination is Philly. I really want to go to Philly, man."
And then he's somebody going back to Houston.
And then said he want to go back to Houston. Yeah,
right.
Got to Philly, wanted to go back to Houston. Houston was like, "Nah, man, we could. We don't want to give you $40 million.
Fred, man, flew over you, man.
We good." So he's just like, "Damn, okay, I'm back in." Now he's just like, "Man, I don't want to be in Philly. I want to go to the Clippers, man. I always want to go there." Daryl Morey, you deserve everything that's happening to you right now. Because you thought You pulled a fast one on Brooklyn. Oh yeah, good trick, Carter. Yeah, we got you for Ben. Oh, now you got to deal with Terrence Mann and Marcus Morris. I cannot wait. This is a match made in heaven, Darren. You cannot get out of this one. You can't. Because once you trade Harden, now it's going to be even worse. You got to trade Embiid to the Knicks in your division.
Yeah.
You're going to feel
Hey,
it.
man.
You're going to feel it. So that's all I want to say. Daryl Morey, you deserve this. James Harden, you're a liar. And that's it. Because I got more for you later.
And you know how many times James Harden turned down a bunch of money?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
In Brooklyn, he did too.
He was parading all last year when he signed was it like a year extension? He was like, I took less. Why nobody saying nothing about that? Oh, so how come you want to get compensated for that now? All right.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade would never done that though.
But yeah, man, James Harden, wants to be with the Clippers. I don't see it happening, at least right now. Again, I do think, and also it's not just from Philly side. The Clippers don't want to give up Terrence Mann, and that says if you're James Harden, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, "Yo, you wouldn't trade Terrence Mann for me." You know what I'm saying? And
yo, King of Brooklyn, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
we're
gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's an interesting situation right now between James Harden and obviously Damian Lillard and those two guys.
Didn't he tell him to fire Doc?
Yes, he did.
Yep, he did.
I blame and because here's the crazy thing: the domino effect of that was Mark Jackson getting let go from ESPN, as well as Jeff Van Gundy. So now the new commentating crew for NBA on ESPN is Doris Burke, Mike Breen, and Doc Rivers.
Yo, that's going to
James
be
Harden.
So annoying to listen to.
Thank you, James Harden.
Oh my God, yo, that's going to sound like
you.
sandpaper, yo. Like
I'll be listening on mute.
I need TNT to give those two guys, Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, a bag so we can get Mike Harlan, because I'm tired of hearing Reggie Miller on TNT.
And Chris
Thank
Webber.
God Chris Webber don't really call games anymore. He's been.
Thank goodness.
Ever since he called
Reggie Miller gotta go.
Ever since Chris Webber said what he said about LeBron in the bubble, about black, they always keep a black man down, but LeBron, whatever he said.
Yeah.
Ever since then,
I miss that too.
I hope we get Kevin Harlan, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson on TNT. That will be some good commentary.
Yep.
Yes, Doc Rivers is still in Mark Jackson's job again, because if you guys don't know, and I believe was it 92 or 82, something like that. In the 80s or
early 90s.
Yeah, 92. Yeah, it was 92. Yeah. It was 92. Doc Rivers, I believe, was traded to the Knicks, and he took Mark Jackson's starting point guard.
How does he keep getting away with this?
Because anything is possible. Anything is possible. Okay.
It should have been me, not him.
As we move this along, there was a debate that's been going on Twitter.
Sheesh.
About James Harden and Dwayne Wade. And a lot of people have been leaning towards saying James Harden is the third greatest shooting guard of all time, behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. My top 3 shooting guards of all time is Kobe, MJ, and D Wade. I'll let you guys have the floor, but I at the end of the day, D Wade was a way better all around player to me. He played both sides of the ball. A champion, a leader. Not to say, don't get me wrong, James Harden is one of the greatest offensive players we've seen. Because he did revolutionize the game to some degree, the step back, how to get to the line.
Foul baiting is legendary.
Was able to manipulate the game to get fouls was definitely legendary. And definitely annoying too. But you got to give credit when credit is due. But I just don't see James Harden over D Wade. Like D Wade, with everything you wanted in a player, And I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But you guys have the floor.
My thing with this
Go ahead, Josh.
is what I've noticed in these arguments, I'm starting to notice a lot, especially on Twitter. A lot of these people didn't start watching basketball until 2012, bro. So a lot of people they remember D Wade as second fiddle to LeBron on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know about D Wade before Miami. Why LeBron chose Miami in the first place?
Right.
Or remember D Wade's first playoff appearance against Baron Davis and the Hornets, and the crossover. You know what I'm saying? To get to the lane and one foul, seal the deal of the series.
Yeah. So I'm starting to notice that these kids we're talking, they're arguing with, they don't know no better, and they just seen Harden, they think Harden on the Rockets was always, oh my God, man, this guy is averaging 30 all the time. But D Wade, when he was in his, I'm not gonna say he was in his prime before, because he was still in his prime when he was with LeBron, just took a back seat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When D Wade was doing at the height of his powers as the main guy, I advise people to go watch that. Go see how they won the finals. Go see that run. People go say, "Oh, but Shaq was there." Shaq was not
the same.
Right.
Shaq
and Alonzo Mourning was on his last leg.
Yeah, so it's just like,
man's had Gary Payton and Jason Williams on his team.
Wow.
Exactly.
In 2006. In 2006. Think about that.
And Coro, Udonis baseline mid-range shot has him.
So I'm not the one, I'm not gonna keep saying, oh, but he got a ring, that's why he's better.
Anton Walker. or the Anton Walker.
Yeah, But I'm not gonna say that he's better just because he has a ring, but it's what I've seen and what we've seen Wade do year in, year out in the playoffs too. We've seen him do it. It's not just because Harden got MVPs, came second to MVPs, led the league in scoring twice, and Wade only did it once. That doesn't mean Harden is better than Wade. And I think this is what these guys who's watching basketball now that just started in 2012, they 10 years into this. Relax, learn your history.
Mm-hmm.
Learn your history. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why this is even a debate, but Josh, the first sentence of a lot of the people that's on Twitter debating this is people who started watching basketball in 2012. So 2 years after that, remember D Wade knee was in jeopardy. When LeBron left, it was pretty much finito for the Miami Heat. I didn't see the Miami Heat making another run, even though with Wade and Bosh, but obviously LeBron was the biggest factor. And then with those people that you're mentioning that started watching basketball in 2012, seeing D Wade get passed around the league. So remember, Dwayne, I watched a video the other day. I think the title of the video was "Players You Wouldn't that ended up on some random team." I didn't need that video to remind me that Dwayne Wade was on the Cavaliers. You know what I mean?
He was on the Bulls.
And he was on the and he was on the Bulls. Well, the Bulls didn't really the Bulls wasn't really crazy because that's his hometown. He wore red. You know what I'm saying?
It just looked weird in the Bulls because they had so many battles,
right? And
with the Bulls.
And then how it even happened in the first place that Miami wasn't respecting D Wade like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then when D Wade went to the Bulls, we thought this dude was gonna be Heat for life. But man ended up on the Bulls. Then he went to the Cavs. Him and D Rose was on the same team with Jay Crowder when they had that stack team.
Remember, Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas was on. Come on. And then he went back to Miami.
Yeah,
and
after
then,
LeBron gave him that look on the bench. Yeah, that meme that goes around. Yeah. That was it right there. You my man, but you gotta go.
And that was it. But I don't think those people that you're referring to seeing what D Wade was doing in the 2000s. I don't think they've seen it. And I think, I'm gonna say this part of D Wade's game is I wouldn't say it's overlooked, but his defense. Dwayne Wade is one of the best shot blockers at the guard position as
blocking
a shooting guard.
centers. He was
Blocking centers.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade is what 6'4", 6'5",
Yeah.
and he's on both sides of the basketball. Like, and of course the NBA Finals run back in 2006, being down 0-2, bringing the team back to victory. We mentioned he had a old Shaq, Gary Payton, Jay Will, Mr. Antoine Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should speak for itself. Now, I understand that the game is at a faster pace now. James Harden was able to manipulate the game into his benefit. I would even say sometimes that, due to the evolution of the game, James Harden is more of a craftier version than Dwayne Wade, due to how the league is set up now. But like, I think what's going on now is that everybody's getting blinded by the numbers, just the numbers and the play. So like, James, you already know that. And I think with James Harden, he became just very predictable, so he's going to come down, dribble, step back or blow past you and one foul or flop, you know what I mean? So like, it was very predictable for him to put up 30, 35 a night, 10 assists, 8 boards, it was very predictable. So everybody's like, oh my God, James Harden's doing this. He's putting up these numbers. But when it was time for him to show up, where did he go? I remember that one play where Manu blocked him from behind, like he just constantly failed to show up when it was much needed, and
what ahead, about when Houston actually came back 3-1?
Yeah.
They was benching him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was Josh Smith and
Corey Brewer.
And what's his guy name? Terrence. Was it Terrence Jones? That's his Terrence Jones. They brought that team back.
Yep.
They brought that team back. They came back and won that series because of those three. Not James Harden. He was not the difference maker in bringing them back. But I think what it is though,
and that was against the Doc Rivers Clipper team.
Yeah, that like, come on now, and
why are you throwing strays?
Right. And I mean, just call it a spade. And honestly, like, now we're here, James Harden, this is his fourth team. His fourth team, right? Playing with one of the best players in the league. I understand there's some drama that's going on between, the coaching changes and stuff like that. But like, your clock is running out, But as far as this D Wade, James Harden debate, like, it's no debate, honestly. Like, Dwayne Wade checks off like majority of the categories in my book. Yeah. Eric?
This debate makes no sense. So it's like, all right. I don't know if NBA Twitter's bored during the summer or I don't know.
Hey, we got slam ball going on. We got WNBA and we got Damian Lillard trade hold up. So we need something. Josh, we can't hear you. Your mic muted.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah. So as far as this debate, I don't know. If it was up to me, I'm picking D Wade over James Harden 80 days a week. I mean, like, he's taller. He was in his heyday. Dwayne Wade, taller, faster, stronger, more athletic during his heyday. Even though Harden can shoot better than D Wade, he also could play defense. Was very underrated defensively. And he was probably one of the more clutch players one of the top clutch players in NBA history. 2006 Finals against the Mavericks. Like, come on now. And also don't forget those two titles that they won with LeBron and Vaj. He was also one of the key factors in winning those titles. So, and plus he's Miami born and bred. He's not actually from there, but the franchise with Pat Riley, Udonis Haslem. I don't know why I mentioned his name, but hey,
Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra. The whole he's part of the whole fabric, the whole culture. So, and he stayed there for like 15 years, and he came back and finished his career there. Harden, we all seen his regular season outstanding. Won an MVP. Did he win an MVP? No, he didn't. Right?
Harden?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
hardcore.
did.
He went in
Yeah, he
20,
did.
2018.
Okay, yeah, 2018. I could have sworn. Yeah,
Remember,
2018.
it was the constant him and Giannis thing, like back
That's
and forth.
right. Yeah, that was
The
right. That's
run
right.
and dunk, run and dunk, man.
Yeah, yeah. So Harden got an MVP, but I think his playoff shortcomings are well known
Oh,
because
they're glaring for
they're
sure.
glaring. They're big time glaring. We just seen it like a couple months ago. Game 7 against the Celtics didn't show up. Game 6 he didn't show up. He had 2 really good games in that series against Boston, but what happened in Game 6 and Game 7? Nothing. He didn't show up as usual. So and plus the way he's like moving around different franchises, asking for trades and all that stuff, and turning down big money while at it is like, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna be me.
Turned down $200 million from the
$200 million.
Nets.
Like you had a chance to stay with Brooklyn with KD and Kyrie, and you even said yourself that, hey, let's stay. That's the big 3 in Brooklyn and win the championship. Nah, B, this is a detour. I'm out to Philly.
This conversation totally different if you stay here, Harden. I'm just letting you know that.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It really does. Because I think if the Nets,
You'll have a championship by now.
Yeah, for
you win a
sure. I think the
championship,
Nets
yeah.
would have won a chip somehow, some way with those 2 guys for sure.
Yep.
Exactly. 2021 was the year, but Giannis.
Don't,
Yeah,
let's
that
not get started. Stop.
Thug.
He called him a thug.
Oh, speaking of debates, there is a civil war that may be going on between myself, fellow Laker fan, and Armani, fellow Laker fan. So
number 6 and number 23.
it has been reported. Jeannie Buss came out, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, has stated that when LeBron James gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, she will for sure make sure that LeBron James' number will be retired as a Los Angeles Laker. I don't have no problem with it. In fact, I think they should retire 23 and 6. But Armani seems a bit reluctant on just the retirement of his jersey as a whole.
I should have put up a poll for this before we went live, just to see where everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we can still post one. Make sure you follow our Instagram, the Sue Shoes Podcast. Follow our Twitter as well. Same handle. And I like to get Armani's thoughts because we've had a debate in the group chat. But I'd like to hear your thoughts live as to why you question the validity of the deserving retirement jersey of LeBron Ramon James.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to see where can I start. The first thing I would say, like I said, I'm gonna just say this disclaimer. When I said this in the chat, the main thing I was trying to say was that I was trying to see something. So
what is there to see? That's my problem. What is there to see?
Right, so let's talk about it. So you got LeBron, right? LeBron won a chip in Cleveland, won 2 chips in Miami, won a chip in LA. So we know for a fact, right, that his jersey is getting retired in Miami. If you're gonna retire Chris Bosh jersey in Miami, you're gonna do it for Bron, right? Bron got 2 chips there. Then no brainer, you're gonna do it for the Cavaliers. He came back 3-1, probably the best NBA Finals ever of all time. That's a no-brainer. So let's just say he get those jerseys retired in both of those cities, right, and not get it in LA. And LeBron is like the GOAT, like one of the greatest players of all time, right? Top 5, top 3. That's kind of crazy to think that, he did not get his jersey retired in LA. So that's just one of the things that came to mind for me. Now, me being a Laker fan, right, we're very, what's the word? We just don't give out medals. We just don't give out awards. Like the players that's hung in the rafters of Staples Center, because it ain't crypto. I don't know what that is. But the jerseys that's hung up in those rafters, right, are like legends, icons, players who won championships, players who's been with the team for multiple years. So for somebody and I'm gonna go through both numbers. I'm gonna go through both 23 and 6, right? So, all right. Oh my God. All right.
So, yo, the Nuggets always try to insert themselves. Hey, Mike Angel Brown. Excuse me, Mike Angel Malone. Go sit somewhere, okay? Please. We ain't talking about the Nuggets right now.
So, like, for 23, right? I'll say this. When LeBron joined the team in 2018, like, I was ecstatic. One, because it's like our team was brought back to relevancy. As a Laker franchise, we'll always be relevant. But like it's now we're back in the title picture. And then a lot of my favorite players on the team at the time, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Josh Hart, they get a shot at making the playoffs and doing something for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I've seen it, But then obviously we traded them, got AD. So now we're like, all right, we're taking it seriously. We're putting this car 100 miles an hour, right? So we're going full-fledged. Then the pandemic happens, right? So we win a championship. We win a championship that in the bubble. So it's like, okay, that one title, right? Okay, I'll take that. But then it's like, I don't know if we could put that up there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we could put that in the rafters. I get it. He brought us back to relevancy. I don't know, man. It's just something, So, all right, cool. We win the championship, right? And I always told myself this. We got to get another one. So, look, Braun is back in 23, right? If he gets us one more, for sure, no problem. But like I said, I was trying to see something. So that's for 23, right? Unfortunately, the following season, he gets hurt. AD gets hurt in the playoffs. We don't win. Then we get Russ. He changes to 6. And 6 is like, why? Like, what are we doing here? But I get it. 6 is like, okay, rest in peace.
Whose man's is this?
That's my man's. That's my man's, Marcus. That's my man's. Hear me out. Josh is weak. Man, it's turning red, son. So 6 is like, what we doing? And rest in peace to Bill Russell. So LeBron is the last person in the league to wear number 6, right? I think the only argument for number 6 is that he broke that record. And I get it. That record is very important because it's like that record doesn't come around often. It took somebody 40 years to break that, 40 years, right? 40 years to break that record. Something that we may not see ever again in our lifetime, right? But off the strength of that, I don't know. Like, I don't know about 6. 23, yeah. 6, I don't know. It's not for me. Now, that's just the jersey retirement. Now, the statues is like the extra level, right? So, Ernest, you've been to LA, right? So you see Shaq, right? You see Kareem, you see Magic. Jerry West has one out there, right? Chick Hearn, right? Rest in peace. Oscar De La Hoya. Doesn't Gretzky have a statue out there? I think Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, he does.
Great.
He does.
And of course, we still waiting for the Mamba to get one, right? LeBron ain't getting no statue.
Yeah, Mamba. Yeah, that needs to happen like this season. Like, I don't know what's taking so long.
And
this would have been great for the 2024 season.
Right, exactly. And
24 on the front, 8 on the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Or,
And
however they want to do it. But that statue should have been up.
And I'm glad that you brought this up because now it's like, all right, Kobe, if Braun gets both jerseys retired, Kobe's not going to be the only person on that wall with 2 jerseys. It's going to be Braun. And Kobe played 10 seasons in both jerseys, 2 Hall of Fame careers in both jerseys, right? Multi-time All-Star in both jerseys, won Finals MVP in 24, 3-time champ in 8, 2-time champ in 24, Olympic gold medalist twice in 24. So Kobe worked for that. You know what I mean? Like, me being a diehard Kobe fan, and I think like the whole Kobe LeBron thing, I kind of got over it like a long time ago. But like me being a diehard Kobe fan, it's hard for me to sit there and see that. If I go to Staples, for me to see that on the wall, like Braun, I'm getting a little emotional, like even talking about it, like I'm dead ass. Like to see 6 and 23 on the wall and only one championship was won in one of those jerseys, that don't sit well with me. That don't sit well with me. Like,
so I would say, like, I totally agree with the 6. Like, both jerseys shouldn't be retired. I think 23 should be retired. But for me, it's a no-brainer that he gets his jersey retired by the Lakers. Because my thing is, if and Armani, we know each other very well. I'm a diehard Kobe fan as well. He's the reason why I'm so entrenched in basketball. He's the reason why I love the Lakers. But we also gotta call it what it is. But we were not good before he got there.
Right? No, exactly.
Right?
We probably would have still been ass if he doesn't pull up.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Maybe would have. Yeah, but yeah.
Hopefully, Brandon Ingram takes a leap.
You know what I'm saying?
Takes a leap.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Wilt Chamberlain, people don as a Laker great.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Spent 5 seasons with the Lakers, won 1 chip.
And he's up there.
He's up there.
Pau
Gasol.
Yeah, I was about to bring him up. Yep.
5 seasons.
Yep.
Just had his jersey retired last season.
Damn, it's been 5 seasons for Pau?
He played 5 seasons.
2008, 2013 or 2014? Because remember the year? Well, it doesn't matter. He wasn't there for a long time, but I do remember. We lost Pau, and then Boozer came in, and I was just like, we should just trade him because pretty much Pau went to Chicago, and we got Carlos Luza. You know what I'm saying? So
Pau played from 2018 to 2014. I mean, 2008 to 2014.
So
it was 6 seasons.
6 seasons, yes.
He played 6 seasons.
Yep.
Got his jersey retired.
Yep.
LeBron is about to enter his 6th season with the Lakers.
Yeah, it's his longest stint.
It's his longest stint. No, it's his longest stint aside from Cleveland. It is his longest stint. He's probably going to surpass that.
Yep.
The way it's looking, and based on his longevity and how he feels, whatever. But he'll probably surpass that because he played 7 seasons. He played a total of 7 years in his first stint with Cleveland. Then played another 3 years, right? So a total of 10 years he's played with the Cavs, and then the rest is between Miami and LA.
Right.
He's played more years in LA than he has in Miami. He looks like he will surpass the 7 years that he did with Cleveland, and he's doing with LA. I mean, I think and I saw this on Twitter, and I agree. Like, diehard Lakers fans like myself, listen, if you're going to retire LeBron jersey, and if you have Powell up there, you have Wilt up there, then Derek Fisher's jersey should be retired up there.
Right.
That's 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Derek Fisher's number should be retired with the Lakers, Josh. Yeah. Yes, it should. Some people made the argument that Michael Cooper's jersey should have been retired. I don't know about Coop, but Derek Fisher, I believe, number 2 should be retired in the Raptors. Needless to say, though, LeBron James, there is no question that his number will be retired with LA, regardless of the 1 championship or not. Like, he came here when like you said, Lakers are always relevant, but we were not good.
Right.
He came here, he added more relevancy. Anthony Davis and others had come onto this team, and aside from 1 season, we've been competing at a high level.
Yep.
Obviously, the first year he was hurt. 2nd year, chip. 3rd year, we know what happened with the shortened season, AD getting hurt. 4th year, the Russ experiment didn't work out well. And again, this is not just on Russ, the team as a whole. That was more so on the front office.
White, Melo, Rondo, Ariza, all that.
Yeah, that was more on the front office. I'm not putting that on LeBron too much, but yeah, LeBron, you asked for Westbrook. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I'm sorry, it's Braun stance. He did. Let's call it what it is. And then last season, obviously, we get to the conference finals, and we look very poised to be a contender this upcoming season. So at the end of the day, like, LeBron has done a lot for the Lakers franchise. broke Kareem's record in a Laker jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally agree with the 2 numbers with you. Like, I don't think 2 numbers should be retired because 6 was only 2 seasons, and
Right.
you know, like one of those years was a really bad year. You know what I'm saying?
They call it 360.
Yeah.
AD, Braun, and Russ.
Yeah, I hated that. I was like, this is terrible. 360.
I did not hear that until now.
Nah, bro. We was calling it,
Oh
we
my
was calling it
gosh.
360.
Yeah, they were calling it 360.
They actually took a picture, like, and you lining numbers up, and then everybody was like, "Oh, 360 on the yeah, bro."
Yeah, it was bad because we tried to compete with a team that was in New York that had 3 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so listen. At the end of the day, like, I think I want to preface my words, but like, I think I can say for sure, Kobe would say, yeah, his jersey should be retired up there with mine. Because anyone that and I play this in my head all the time, like when it comes to stars and what Kobe said, we don't need to recruit you here.
Right.
Like, if you want to be a Laker, like you
You'll
want to
come.
take on this challenge, like you'll just come here. And that right there, to me, he took on that, came here by himself. Everyone was surprised, like, yo, LeBron is going to join the Lakers with all these young guys, and what's crazy is we were poised. We were the 4th seed that year. We were the 4th seed during that Christmas game when LeBron injured his one.
Smoke Golden State.
We the KD Golden State.
Yep. We smoked them.
We were the 4th seed in the Western Conference.
Yep.
At Christmas. You can't tell me we were gonna make the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when Kobe says those things, it's just, and how happy Kobe was, and like Kobe telling Jeannie, you need to get LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, Kobe said these things. So for me, it's like, if Kobe's riding with that, I know for sure.
Gotta accept it. Yeah.
I know for sure he's gonna want his jersey retired for what he's done for the franchise and for the city of Los Angeles. Like you said, the 2 numbers, cool. I was trolling a little bit in the beginning. The 2 numbers, yeah, no. Like, I don't think the 2 numbers should be retired at all. No.
Yeah.
But 23, absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 6 will be retired with Miami. Absolutely. 23 will be retired by Cleveland. Absolutely. Statue. LeBron gets a statue if he wins another ring. I'll just leave it at that. He'll probably get another statue, bro. If Oscar De La Hoya gets a freaking statue in Staples Center, LeBron James gets a statue. Okay, I'm sorry. I never understood. Like, I get it, Oscar. Don't get me wrong. Oscar De La Hoya has a huge, like, you know, for the Latino community in Los Angeles. Like, Oscar was huge, but like, we're talking about the house that Kobe built. You got Oscar De La Hoya as a statue. Listen, LeBron wins another ring.
Most of your fights was in Vegas, man.
Yeah, exactly. Put a statue out of the MGM. You know what I'm saying, on the strip. That's where his statue belongs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And AD number may get retired as well. That's another conversation for another day.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hold on. Is there a way you can insert pictures? Because I need that Tony Yayo me right now. I need that Tony Yayo me.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Anthony Davis's number will be retired by the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yo, what?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Especially if they win another ring. Yes, it will.
Hey, we gotta win that second ring.
If he wins the second ring, he is what, the 3rd best big. Wilt, Shaq. No, I'm talking about in Laker lore. I'm not talking about ever. Relax, Josh.
No, relax. In Laker lore. What?
Yeah. What other bigs Lakers have besides Shaq and Wilt?
Mike and
Kareem.
I can't really speak on that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That
is Kareem. Hold on.
Sorry, 4th best big.
He said Shaq and Wilt.
4th, he'll be the.
I thought you said Kareem.
He'll be the 4th best big If AD wins another ring with the Laker jersey, he'll
He's
be
not
the
even
fourth.
better than Mikan, man. Let's be real, man.
He's better than Powell and Mikan. What are you talking about?
He's not better than Mikan. Let's be real, man.
You've never even seen Mikan.
Face it. We all never seen him.
All right,
We
now
I've
never
seen him in
we're
2K.
All right. All right. All right.
Yo, call
All
us
right. No, but all seriousness though, like
Oh,
if
man.
AD wins another ring, AD will be the fourth best big behind Kareem, Shaq, Wilt. Then it'll be AD, then Powell, then Mikan.
Wow.
Sorry.
There's a lot going on. You're saying this, my girl's calling. I don't know what's happening right now.
Man's in a blender.
But speaking of the great George Mikan, there is a list that went out.
That's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue.
There was a list that went out. And the great Dr. J. Julius Irvin came out with his top 10 list. I'm going to pull it up right now. Of his greatest players of all time. In no order. Let me just pull this up 1 second. It caused a lot of
And this was right while you pull up the list, and this was right after. Did he give that list this when he was interviewed by that lady?
Yeah.
yes.
But,
So
yes.
and-
so Joy D'Angelo. Shout out to Joy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Joy,
I'm sorry,
Joy is
I
a
didn't know you
Joy.
knew. Like,
She's a known Heat fan. She's unapologetic.
Yeah, she's a diehard Heat fan and a Russell Westbrook stan.
So how in the world did she get to interviewing Dr. J?
She does a lot of content. I mean,
All right,
she
gotcha.
does a lot of work. Shout out to her. Like she does a lot of
Salute.
one of the very up and coming voice in the women's basketball circuit.
Salute.
Dr. J came out with the list, and what is the list? I have it. I just had
KD
it.
was catching strays when he was having that. KD just been getting fried and cooked all summer.
Listen, I would love to hate KD.
They call KD a pea shooter.
I would love to hate KD.
Yo, come on, son.
Come on, bro.
We call KD a pea shooter.
So Dr. J's top 10 list consists of Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Tiny Nate Archibald, and this one takes the cake, Karl Malone. Those were his top 10 players of all
I
time.
got my 28.
What do you guys? Let's go to Josh because Josh had sat out the Lakers segment, and and then we're gonna get to Eric too because I want to hear both of them before we get into it. Armani. What do you think about his top 10? And what do you like? What do you don't like? What are your issues with it?
Listen, man, you entitled to your opinion, but when your opinion is dumb,
Oh my God,
you're wrong.
respect your elders.
Opinions could be no, because you know why? He don't respect the Nets. He never be in Barclays. He never want to show up. He always want to be in Philly. Forget him, bro. Forget him.
Man.
He lost his marbles. Let's be real. I don't know what's up with him. That list is disgusting. Some of the names that's on it, Tiny Archibald being on the list. Excuse me, bro. Like, come on, man. I got nothing else to say. And Karl Malone is on there too, right? Karl Malone?
Yes, Karl Malone is on that.
Karl Malone not even better than Charles Barkley.
Oh my God. Eric, give us your take on the list.
Yo, you gotta.
Like, I don't understand.
Oh my God!
Oh,
DJ guys has gotten a hold of his internet, and the ancestors were not taking the disrespect. So, hopefully, Josh is back with us, as he has now reached the ascendant plane. Eric, give us your reasoning. Do you like the list or you don't like the list, and what would you change it?
I could care less if I like the list or not. The couple of things here. No Shaq. No Larry Bird.
He had a fight with Larry Bird too. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
That's who I was gonna bring up.
Yep. No
That's
Shaq.
yep.
No Larry Bird.
No Isaiah Thomas.
No Isaiah Thomas. Exactly. Pretty interesting list. But here's the thing, though. You figure because of the era that he grew up watching and his contemporaries that he played with, I guess that he used that criteria, and plus he's seen them face to face. He competed with them, and he felt like during my time and during the era that I played with these with my top. These are the top 10 that I believe are the best players that I believe in my lifetime. So yes, you got all right. So he had Michael Jordan. He was like late in his career or like on the cusp of when Jordan got to the league. But also there are other players like right now you could say that okay, like you kind of like Shaq for example, Shaquille O'Neal, like okay, I would put him on that list, but then again it's like that's a slippery slope there because I gotta push if it was my list, I gotta put Shaq on my top 10 list of all time. So but as we get bombarded with text messages from Josh after his rant. But yeah, it's like and plus no Isaiah Thomas, as Tiny Archibald is like, okay, interesting. Karl Malone instead of Charles Barkley and Tim Duncan. At that time, I could see why he put Karl Malone on there on this list. But he is one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the position. But now that's been usurped by Tim Duncan, which is kind of interesting why he didn't put Tim Duncan on the list. But all right, I guess so. And of course, you're gonna put Wilt and Bill Russell. That's one of the two best centers of all time, and probably the two of the greatest NBA the shooting guards of all time, Jerry West and Oscar Robertson. So yeah, it's a give or take. You know, it's like it's his opinion. And on top of that, he did go at KD during that interview with Joy. So it's like, you're not gonna convince him because he's seen it all.
He don't like none of the new guys. So.
Yeah, he's like he's seen it all with his contemporaries and
they even asked him about Curry.
Today. Yeah. He didn't even ask about Curry. He said that with KD and Steph was like they didn't finish their careers. Yeah. He also said about LeBron. He didn't finish their careers. So why am I going to put him on my top 10 if they didn't finish their careers? So, but Shaq finished his career. Chuck Barkley's finished his career. Tim Duncan finishes the career. Kobe Bryant. Not even that. He's not even on the list. So, but of course he's gonna ruffle some feathers among the whole fan base and their stands. So. I think another topic for NBA Twitter to like to like just dissect and take a beef at. That's just me.
I just got to be careful what I say because I don't want to get sent to the gulag, just like brother
Josh, bro.
Dr. J's
camp just took him to the gulag. Like, clip that, please.
Honestly, when I seen the list, it didn't move me. Like, honestly, I don't care. I sleep great at night. You know what I mean? Like, the world keeps spinning. You know what I'm saying? Days go by, all of that stuff. But when I look at the list, like it's clearly like obviously the most recent player to play in the league is Mike, right? And then you look at everybody else, and everybody else is from like the 80s, 70s, and even 60s. You know what I'm saying? So like you clearly see where his standpoint was at. So like for him to deny deny Curry, like I didn't expect. Right, pretty much, honestly. But I think when you look at it, like nobody, I didn't expect anybody from our era to be on that list, And like I said, the most recent player was Mike. So like right when he was finishing his career, Mike was ascending, So everybody like they were saying that Mike was the next coming of Dr. J, in terms of the athleticism and stuff like that, but this, like I said, this list does not move me at all. I just thought that was kind of funny that Larry Bird was not on the list because usually he makes every old head's list, after their little fight. I just thought it was funny when I was researching it that they actually have a video game. It's Dr. J versus Larry Bird one-on-one.
No way.
Yeah.
It's actually a video game.
What?
It's a video game. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, when I was looking it up, it's called One-on-One Dr. J versus Larry Bird video game. Yeah. I gotta look up the graphics for this joint or the cover. Look at this joint. Look at this. Hold on. Damn, I don't know if y'all can see it, but look at that. Look at that. Like, what is that, bro?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, the fact that their fight turned into a video game is crazy. And like he didn't even acknowledge him on his list. So I mean, like I said, it doesn't move me.
Yeah, before we end the show, hey
Josh.
man.
Peace, Josh.
We're sending our condolences to Josh. All the old heads, and Uncle Otis's, and have
See
him.
you at the crossroads. You will be lonely.
Yeah, he's surrounded by short shorts right now. So, sorry, Josh. I guess when you
I just got basketball is my favorite sport. And
listen, at the end of the day, like, obviously to Eric's point, like he played against most of these guys, if not all of them, if I'm not mistaken. And I get the sense of, he hasn't put certain players on his list because their careers haven't ended yet. But let's be for real.
Right, come on.
Any list with no LeBron, Kobe, Bird,
Tim,
come
on,
Shaq.
Come on.
At some point, it's like, I get it. I understand you played against those other guys, but you're also a basketball savant, Dr. J. You've seen talent come through this league. You've seen the records and the performances and the things that these players have done. It is superhuman. Let's be for real. Like, I'm not going to disrespect him and say he's senile and all that.
Right. You're going to get sent to the gulag.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far.
It's going to be me, Eric.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far because I understand why he said what he said. But at the end of the day, we got to be for real about the talent that's come through the NBA. I don't care if their careers are not over. LeBron James is a top 10 player of all time. Hands down. Top 10 player of all time. I'm surprised he didn't put P.B. Kirkland on that list. Hey, listen, or Stretch from NBA Volume 2.
When they reminisce over you, my God.
Yeah, but I understand, but like we just gotta be for real. But hey, it's his list, and you gotta respect it. But yeah, any list, I'm not paying attention to any list that doesn't have Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, Bird, Tim Duncan at the very least. Three out of those guys on the list. Like, if you don't have all of them, okay, I understand, but you gotta have some of them trickled in. Like, come on.
That Larry Bird joint was just him being petty for real.
Yeah.
It was him being petty.
Yeah, it is. No Isaiah Thomas. Like, yeah, but what? So listen, I get it. Like, you have Tiny Ultraviolet, but you don't have Isaiah Thomas. Like, come on.
Yo, I see the clip on Twitter. It's been going viral of IT. I think he was at somebody's. I think it was.
He was dribbling a basketball with his one finger.
Yeah, yo,
that's showing off his handles. That's insane.
Yo,
That's insane. But yeah,
they don't call Zeke for nothing.
Yeah. But hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being interactive in the chat. We see you guys. We love the interaction. We love the engagement. Keep it going. Get on every show. And who knows, you might be a guest on. So that's what we love to do, is like to bring you guys on who are constantly in the chat and give you guys some airtime just to talk hoops, man, and get your guys' perspective on things. Look out for our next show. We will be deep diving into more WNBA. as they enter the second half of their season. And like Eric said at the top of the show, the Aces have been taking names and kicking ass. That is a super team.
They are running rough shot, bro.
Yeah. So we'll deep dive into that next episode, but also hopefully by the time we have our next episode,
the schedule will be released.
Damian Lillard,
yes.
Hopefully he's been traded, and we got USA basketball to talk about.
FIBA World Cup coming up later this month.
Yes, Austin Reeves for MVP. But anywho,
Jaylen Brunson.
Yes, we have and what's also cool about it, Cam Johnson is also on that team. So each representative of the Swoosh Hoops podcast has a player on their favorite team playing in USA basketball.
Josh not even here to speak of himself.
But it doesn't even matter. Austin Reeves would be the second best player on the Nets. We say that. Sorry, Josh. Can't defend yourself now. But until then, peace and love to you guys. And again, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. It helps us a great deal. And follow us on all social media accounts at the Swoosh Hoops podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well. So peace and love, and until next time.
Yep. See you next time, y'all.